Hi guys, today I'm here with a chit chat. Get ready with me, just putting some new makeup on my face as usual. These are just a few new things that have come in over the past month or so, and a couple things that I actually picked up at EBATES as well. I'm getting ready to film my September favorites, so I figured we might as well get ready together. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, to prep my skin, I used the new Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask in Candy Cane. It has like a smidge of a red tint, but barely when it comes out on the lips, and has that nice kind of candy cane scent. And then I tried out the Clarins Pore Control. This is a pore minimizing serum for smooth skin texture and healthy radiance. So my first time using that, but it seems really, really nice. It seems like it's going to be good for oily skin. Oh no, this is taped. For my primer today, I'm going to be trying out the Catrice Prime and Fine Smoothing Refiner for what is it? Invisible pores and lines. I feel like I saw a couple videos like talking about if this was a dupe for the Tatcha one or not, but I didn't watch any of them. But I haven't tried the Tatcha one either. Something about my look I'm really not liking today. My hair, something about it is weird. And I don't know what it is. And this is the only way I know how to style my hair. So I'm kind of like, all right, I guess we're going with it. This feels good, not too thick. I was afraid it was going to be really thick and kind of like pile up on the skin, but it feels quite good. And Catrice is available now at Shoppers Drug Mart online. Their new online beauty boutique. If you're not familiar with that, they're selling their drugstore products online, which is super exciting. So you can get like all the drugstore products plus all the high end from Shoppers Beauty Boutique, and I've had such a good experience every time I've ordered from them. Even before they had the drugstore stuff, like they do such a good job. So highly recommend it. They have amazing samples and bonuses and stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw that. For foundation, I'm going to use the Too Faced Do You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation. I'm not sure that either of these are really my shade, but we'll see what happens. I feel like I haven't seen anybody talk about this foundation. Am I wrong? Might be a smidge light. Let me try it, I guess. What I have to blend it in. Wait. These are called the Cosmic Sponge Duos. This is what it looks like before you wet it. This is what it looks like after. These are from Real Techniques, so they've launched a bunch of new products. They're a limited edition. It's the Brush Crush line, so I've got a few of those here today. And I really love Real Techniques brushes. I always recommend when people are looking, oh, I think this oxidizes a little bit. See it here versus here, which is actually good. But I always recommend Real Techniques when people are asking me what brushes to buy. Real Techniques and e.l.f. because they're available at Walmart and they're good. Like, it's not just because it's cheap. Like, I loved the Bold Metals and the original and the Powder Blue ones. I didn't try any of those, but those looked so chic. And I love Pixie Woo, the Pixie Woo sisters. They were some of the first people I ever watched on YouTube. I watched a lot of British YouTubers back in the day in like 2011 when I first started watching YouTube. And they're just so good. They're incredible at makeup. They're true makeup artists and just, I don't know, level-headed human beings. So this seems nice. The sponge is supposed to be not necessarily only for foundation. It's a little bit small, I feel like, for foundation. But it's supposed to be just 360, so you could use for like, I feel like I would more use this for a cream blush or a liquid highlighter or something perhaps over foundation. It's a little more dense than their other sponge. I always recommend that sponge to people too. If people are looking for a cheaper alternative to Beauty Blender, that one is my favorite, I think. I wouldn't say it's like super full coverage, but I also didn't put a ton on my face and I'm using a sponge. So let me know if you'd like a review on this. I didn't get any requests to review it. I had some questions about like Tutti Frutti line as a whole, but let me know. I feel like I want a cream contour just because I look kind of pale. It wasn't really in the plan. I'm gonna use this guy, old favorite. This is all I have left. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Stick. Love it. It's just so easy. And I've said this before, but cream contouring can look so intimidating, but it's actually, can be a really beautiful natural way to enhance your face. There it goes, okay. And if I seem a little low energy, I just took an accidental nap, so I'm still kind of coming out of it. I had washed my hair, got ready, you know, I was like letting my hair air dry, so I had lunch, and then Nems and I were just sitting on the couch, chilling, watching a little YouTube, and Rue comes over and sits on his lap and just is like, whoa, and continues to sit there and just get comfier and comfier and comfier. Like, he was getting up to go do work. We were both planning on doing some work. And then it just fell apart when you're like, you know, when your animal like seduces you into a nap or just seduces you into cuddling. That's exactly what happened. So she was just like so cuddly on him, and I was like, oh, well, we had to nap. Like we can't wake her up. So that's exactly what we did. So we both just woke up and we're like, oh. So that's what's going on. I feel like I'm already looking really shiny in the center of my face. I have to set this. Okay, but that's better for warming up the skin. Then under my eyes, I'm using the Cover FX Power Play Concealer in G Medium 4. Oh, the foundation's in the shade Sand, but it's all listed down below, always. Everything I'm wearing on my face is always listed down below with the shade for the most part, so. I love this foundation. I reviewed it. My only problem with it, which like it wasn't really a problem, was the fact that there were so many shades that I just couldn't figure out what shade, because I was like, that one looks good, this one looks pretty good, and people kept asking me my shade, and I'm like, I don't know, man, they're all pretty good. But I will, I think I have a Get Ready With Me and I know I have a full dedicated review to the Cover FX Power Play foundation. So I will link that down below. And on my brows, I always like to do my brows while I let my concealer set. I'm gonna use the Lancome Brow Definer Pencil. And I've been getting my brows threaded as of like a couple months ago. I was really nervous because I just am very particular about my brows, and I feel like people never want to leave them as full as they are, even though I say like, don't touch here and blah blah, and they still want to like basically maim me and get rid of all my brow hair. So I found a great person at the 10 spot, but then she moved like 3 hours outside of Toronto, and no joke, tears came out of my eyes when she told me she was moving. So there's a another place called Wax On. They do waxing, threading, and I think laser. So I was like, you know what, let me take the chance, let me see. And I have a vlog actually where when I got my eyebrows threaded for the first time, but I love it. Like, it's like I barely have to do anything to my brows now, and I didn't have to do much before, but they're like even cleaner now. And I've gotten so many brow compliments in the past like 3 weeks, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So I've gotten them done about 3 times now, and I cannot recommend it enough. At the very least, Mia at the King Street West location. She's just amazing. Yeah, they're just so good. And I like this brow pencil a lot. It's just a very typical thin little brow pencil. This one is in the shade Brown. And I know it doesn't look like I did much because I really didn't. I just like slightly fill it in a bit. I don't like my brows to look too structured and too like gung gung, you know? And I'm gonna pat this out under my eyes. I feel like that concealer takes a little bit longer to set than you would expect. I find like the Tarte Shape Tape, the Too Faced Born This Way, they both kind of get a little bit thicker and a little more set to your under eyes, but that one it takes a little bit longer, but I think it's done enough. So now under my eyes I'm going to be using the Besame, what do they call this? Translucent powder. This is the Brightening Vanilla. Oh wait, I have a cream highlighter. I always do this. So I don't know if this is really going to go with my intended look, but this is the Givenchy Teint Couture Radiant Drop in the shade Radiant Pink. They also have a gold, which would probably be better for me, but I think it doesn't have like too much color, and maybe it will just kind of add radiance, you know? Not that I necessarily need it with this foundation. It smells really good. Let's try the sponge again. My fingers. Yeah, it doesn't actually have a lot of color. It has a really beautiful natural glow. You can see that. Really lightweight, not a lot of shimmer in there. None actually. It's really almost watery, but looks like really glowy on the skin. I like that. That's good. Back to setting my under eyes with the Besame powder. I picked this up at IMATS. I have an IMATS haul linked below, everything linked below. But I've always been curious about this powder. I don't know, it always appealed to me. I think it's nice. I'm not picky about a lot of things, but I'm picky about like my under eye concealer and powder. That's the kind of thing I don't switch up very often, but I'll happily switch up basically anything else. I feel like you can still see some darkness under my eye. Sorry, I keep looking in the viewfinder. Looks natural. To set the rest of my face, I'm going to be using, oh sorry, I hate when people look like they're naked in videos, it drives me crazy. I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. This is the Magic Powder under eye and face. This is in the shade 2 Fair Medium because I asked for that shade because I primarily thought I might use it as like an under eye powder. But let's try it on the face. Hopefully it doesn't turn me too pale. But it's funny because, and this, okay, so this is the Real Techniques Cosmic Line brush in 300. This is their powder brush. So I like the shape of it, I just don't love the color. I'm more of like a goldy type of person than like a cosmic colors type of person. But the brush feels great itself. And I like, it'll stand up straight too, I think. So I don't remember who it was, but I've used this powder several times now. And I was watching their vlog and they were talking about how much this powder stinks. And now that I opened it, I didn't even try to smell it. I didn't even remember that. But as soon as I smelled it, it really does. It really smells horrible, like chemically or something. That's so weird. I feel like I'm not that sensitive to scents. Like a lot of time people will be like, oh, that foundation stinks or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Like I didn't even notice. But that's bad. The only things that really kind of stick out to me are that product now, the Huda Beauty foundation. I feel like that scent really stuck around, and the older CoverGirl lipstick. You could taste that for like hours. So now let me bring you in to do my eyes. I've actually got a bunch of, I don't know if I've ever done this in a video before, but I've got a bunch of single eyeshadows. NARS has launched a bunch of single eyeshadows, so I figured I would put some of those to use because I'm so bad at using my single eyeshadows. So let me know, and I also got their new primer too. So let me know if you'd like to see a video, like a get ready with me, another one where I'm like using older products and only reach for single shadows perhaps, because I definitely don't do a good job at that. But let me bring you in a little bit closer. So to prime my lids, I'm using the smudge proof tinted eyeshadow base, which is very exciting. This was the first eyeshadow primer that I used that I was like, oh, this actually stays on my eyelids. I really want to try that P. Louise base too. I was kind of unsure of what shade to get because it's, I don't know, I felt like there wasn't a lot of information about like swatches of what the shades were, and then shipping to Canada is like bonkers. But this is like just slightly tinted. It's in the medium shade. Okay, just quickly, because I don't have a super lightish brown to use, I'm going to take this one in this Sigma contouring kit. This one is in the shade Faking It. Just going to take that through the crease because I've got a beautiful super warm brown I also want to make use of, but I just like to have it kind of like a little bit of a lighter base first in my crease to get started. The first NARS thing I'm going to use is in the shade Numia, and these can actually all be popped out too if you'd like to put them in a palette, but really gorgeous little packaging here. And I'm going to concentrate that a little bit more in the crease and here. I don't know, let me know if you use a lot of single shadows. I feel like this is the kind of shade I would use as a single shadow because I might put it in with another palette that I liked the shades, but I was kind of lacking that warm brown that like kind of rusty tone that I reach for all the time. Or like a really good, another single one I love is Wet n Wild Creme Brulee, because I felt like that's just the perfect brow shade for me, so that kind of thing. But otherwise I just don't reach for them. I reach for eyeshadow palettes, but then like face palettes I never reach for. I reach for singles of those. So I think I'm going to use both of these shades. This is Goa and Ecstasy. They look so pretty. I just don't know, I feel like when I touch them the shade is going to change. No, it's pretty much the same. Ooh, very pretty. So I put down a little extra base and I'm going to go in with this Goa shade. One of my, ooh, yes. One of my favorite looks that I've done in a while is in the Emily Noel palettes video, the green look, and I don't know, I really liked it. So when I saw that there was a bunch of greens in this package, I was excited. It's beautiful, wow. It's very dimensional, like it has a lot of like gold in there. I don't know if the shade is really gonna make sense anymore, but it's so pretty. I'm just gonna, ooh, yeah. Created a pretty color. This one has a little more sparkle in it, but again, nothing too chunky. And it's a little less opaque. So then on my inner corner, I'm going to take this shade, which is Alhambra number 2. This is Alhambra number 1. I feel like these would be good facial highlights too. Beautiful. Wow, it's like it's glowing. Add a little bit of liner, now I'm going to put on some mascara. This one is from Mary Kay. It's the, I think it's called Lash Love. Yeah, the Lash Love mascara. Haven't tried this one. It's got a really thin like plastic brush. I feel like it doesn't pick up a lot of product. Before that dries, I'm just going in with the Essence mascara. That mascara I felt like didn't distribute enough product onto my lashes. So I actually have a ton of glitter on my face, like it's covered. I think I had some on a paper towel and then tried to blot my face a little bit because I feel like I'm getting shiny, and I got glitter like, I don't know if you can tell, but my face is covered in glitter. So I think that second eyeshadow definitely had some fallout, and then I think I just pressed some of it into my face. So using the Koki powder contour kit, I'm gonna try and bronze with it. It's very warm. This is like the deeper one. I have the lighter one there too, which I bought at Walmart. This one they sent to me. But let's try it with a light hand because I feel like the bronzers in the other one aren't as good. And I haven't played with Koki much. Picked up some stuff when I was in the States last year. I have the foundation. I don't know, I just never got around to using it. So I think that looks good. It's very, very warm, but it looks nice. If you have deeper skin, I think it'll be good. Then I have the YSL Couture Blush in the shade number 9. I know it has an actual name, but it's not on the packaging. And then this is the Real Techniques Blush Brush from that same line. This looks quite pretty. I think that added a lot of shine to my face. I feel like it's like, it's a very interesting texture or like finish. It almost looks like a shimmery liquid stain, kind of like the color. It's not very opaque, but it's adding like a flush. I'm gonna use just another bit of blush from this palette here. This is from Sigma, one of their blush palettes. I'm gonna take this shade here, Cor de Rosa, just add a little bit more color onto my cheeks. This blush brush is quite dense, so be careful if you're using it with more pigmented blushes. I prefer a less dense blush brush because that way I can build a little easier. This is something I think I would like for even foundation, but almost, it's not totally dense enough for that, but also blending out cream contour. I think that's where this would be amazing. As if I didn't have enough glowy products on my skin, I'm gonna put on a highlighter. This is also from YSL, their Couture highlighter in the shade 1. And I don't know if this is going to be a great shade for me. I feel like I've said that 100 times in this video, but that's what it looks like. It's like a champagne, but like a very pale champagne with not a lot of warmth in it. Yeah, it's quite light. But I love the finish. It has a beautiful finish. So I'm just going to line my lips with the... Oh, actually, let me spray my face first. Using the Morphe setting spray, I picked this up at IMATS as well. It's only my second time using it, so can't totally tell how I feel about it, but I love the idea of the continuous mist, and the mist itself feels really, really good. So that's what I can say on that. I'm gonna line my lips with the Bite Beauty lip pencil in the shade 40. This one's one of my faves. I mentioned this in my favorite shade of lip liner video, like Brownie Rosy Nudes, the kind of thing you can like pair with any lipstick basically. And for my lip, I don't know if this is cheating, but I'm going with the Matte Last Liquid Lip from Pixi in the shade Au Naturel. This is the shade I wore with my last green eye look. And it's like a very intense, like peachy shade, but if I just put a little bit paired with a lip liner like that, it's just perfect. And these are nice liquid lipsticks too. They come in a bunch of shades. Not sure about Canadian availability on a lot of the Pixi makeup. They have a lot of the skincare at Winners. I mean, not Winners, Target. Maybe it's online on the shopper's website, actually, I'm not sure. So here is the finished look. I'm actually really happy with how everything came out. I was a little bit worried with a couple items as I was putting them on my face, with the exception of like all the glitter I think I accidentally pressed into my skin. I think things turned out really, really good. The only thing I'm a little worried about is the Too Faced foundation. I feel like I'm getting oily and I've only had it on for however long I've been doing my makeup, but maybe like moving into winter it might be a little bit better. So let me know if you'd like to see a review on that, because I'm curious to test it out a little bit more myself. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!